Two types of fats you need to know about. And before you decide you don't have any, stick around for the whole video. Let me explain. Do you have jiggly fat or do you have the visceral fat? And yes, there is a big difference between the two. So let's talk about it. If your stomach is rigid and not jiggly, chances are you have visceral fat. Thing is, that is really dangerous and needs to be reversed. Visceral fat is deposited in and around all of your organs. It can be very dangerous and is one of the main contributors to high insulin resistance. And the first place that fat starts to accumulate before insulin resistance becomes noticeable is in your liver. And maybe you've heard that fatty liver disease is on the rise. However, the good news is fatty liver is not a lifetime sentence. On the other hand, if you have this subcutaneous fat that's just below the skin, you know, that jiggly stuff, that's what's measured on the scale. Lots of things can increase subcutaneous fat. And here's where I'll note that if you think you don't have any problems with that, there's a thing called TOFI, which is thin on the outside and fat on the inside, which means you could have no jiggly fat, but still have the visceral fat on the inside. And as I said, the visceral fat is one of the main contributors to insulin resistance. So if you think you may have insulin resistance, here is a few signs. Skin tags on your eyelids, behind your neck, armpits, in the groin area, or maybe dark pigmentation in all of those areas. If you struggle with all those cravings and constant hunger, anxiety or depression, migraines, hormonal problems, so PCOS for women, and erectile dysfunction for men. So if you said yes to any of those, you could be one of the 86 million Americans who have insulin resistance. So both types of fat matter to your health, but reducing visceral fat should be your top priority. Focus on a balanced lifestyle, exercise, and good nutrition and self-care. Take care of your body and your body will take care of you.